We're live. Happy Friendsgiving, everybody. Welcome to Friendsgiving. And we're excited for you guys to be here with us. We're going to take the opportunity to say welcome. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And we will be right back after this performance to talk to the one and only and the beautiful Angela Moss Poole right after this song.
Happy Friendsgiving, IMB. My name is Ina. I'm so excited to be here with y'all today. This song is called With Love, the same way that you can sign off a letter, just as a means of expressing my deepest gratitude to my loved ones. I've got a lot to say, so I'll try to keep it short. But I wanted to take the time between you and I to thank you for your support, for the love that you shared with me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, I'm so grateful I get to share my heart, and this is just the start. 'Cause even on my worst days, I still lift my hands in praise for the abundance of grace that has honestly saved my life. To all my family and closest friends, your love is so much of who I am. My wins are your wins, my light is your light, and my need is to my body and mind. Thank you for carrying me so faithfully through all the ups and downs of life. My God, I'm so grateful, and I could go on for weeks, but I'll leave it there and sign off with love until the next time that we meet. With love, thank you so much, IMB. See you soon.
All right. And everybody, thank you so much for being here on Indigo Inspire Live, this special edition with Friendsgiving with the one and only, the beautiful Angela Moss Poole, talking about the Institute for Music Business. And we are sorry, we're gonna come back and play Ina's song one more time so you can enjoy her performance. But at this time, we want to welcome and take the opportunity to say happy Thanksgiving and welcome Dr. Come on, represent all heard it. Listen, the education is not Mr. Keneva, the one and only Dr. Angela Moss Poole.
Thank you so much, Patrice, for having me. Happy Thanksgiving and happy Friendsgiving. We're so honored to be with you today and on your platform for Indigo Inspire Live. We love Indigo Inspire. And yes, we look forward to having everyone to hear Ina's beautiful performance. So we'll play that again. Thanks for having us. We're excited. Listen, I pulled up my plate.
First of all, I'm going to highlight her plate because, see, no, hold up again. I need y'all to see exactly how they are doing things down there.
Listen.
Okay. Can you let the people know what's on that?
I got some a half-eaten turkey wing because I've been over here snacking. I've got some slices of ham, some green beans, some macaroni and cheese, some mashed potatoes. Miss Judith prepared us a beautiful Friendsgiving luncheon, and we got some sweet potato pies from Uncle Freddie over there.
Okay, first of all,
yes.
What is his cash at? Because I saw the photos of him doing his test run.
Yes.
I think right around the Dove Awards.
Yes.
And I saw the consistency and I saw the crust and I said, he didn't make that.
That pie, I didn't listen. I don't know his recipe, but I was trying to figure it out. It definitely is homemade. And that crust, I've had it twice. I had it, at that time that you saw the video, and then I had it again for Thanksgiving. I've had it like freshly made. I've had it shipped and, frozen and thawed and reheated, and it tastes good every way that I have it. It's good.
Okay, so are we saying are we speaking a chain or a line to push Patty's? Okay, I'm not here to endorse anybody.
I don't know. I hope so. I hope he gets a commercial kitchen. I hope he can find a way to make hundreds of thousands of these pies at one time and make them all taste the same. It gets
Awesome.
hard when you start mass producing stuff and
Yeah, that's
keeping the
true.
taste. But no, that those pies are the real deal. Uncle Freddie's got the recipe.
Well, that was our commercial right now for Uncle Freddie's Pies.
Yes, he'll be
So,
on later, so we can talk to him about his pies later.
and all things music.
Yes.
So, Angela, so thank you so much for being here. And let's, as we talk about Friendsgiving, we want to make an opportunity too. And please, we need you to share this live on all of your platforms, because we're going to be here for the next couple of hours just talking with industry icons and professionals about their connection with the Institute of Music Business, as well as performances and artists and all things IMB. So please make sure you share this live right now. So go ahead, Angela. Let's talk about IMB and exactly how did this get started and where did this really drop in your spirit?
I've got to tell you, for the last 20 plus years, I've been in the space of business and accounting and finance and running a CPA firm and doing auditing and being a CFO and doing that business stuff. But along that same period of time, I've also been songwriting and making CDs and producing music and leading praise and worship. And music has always just been a part of what I was doing in life, and really for a long time was kind of just a hobby until about maybe 10 years ago. I started putting out CDs. 15 years ago, maybe submitting for songwriting competitions and seeing like, okay, well, maybe this is more than a hobby. And then about 5-6 years ago, we started getting some placements with film and TV and started getting some radio spins. And I thought, okay, we need to go ahead and form our label. So we formed 141st Lane Music, which is my husband and my son. My husband Corey, my son Michael, who goes by Bocce. He's also an artist. And we said, we're going to make this family run kind of niche label, but I still have my accounting firm. I still was working for colleges and universities and still writing music. And then the pandemic happened. And a lot of artists and independent labels were coming to me needing help with PPP funds and getting assistance for COVID. And they were reaching a roadblock because they couldn't show that they were a label, that they were a real business, that they were in the music business. And so that really made something click in my mind. Like, okay, there's a need for education. I have this doctorate degree. I'm pursuing this higher education track and thinking, maybe my path was one thing. I'm doing business. I'm combining education and business and music, and helping these independent artists really recognize that they are not just artists, they are labels, they're independent labels, and started documenting that journey. And then before I knew it, I had a whole curriculum. And then we started doing more workshops. And so last year, we actually found a space in Tallahassee, right in the middle of the South Side Arts District, a block away from Florida A&M University, less than a mile away from Florida State University. And we're partnering with projects with all the creatives here in town, and doing workshops at FAMU, doing workshops at other universities and Norfolk State University and others, and just sharing this curriculum around music, money, and mindset. And that has turned into a certificate program. And so it just kind of is growing and growing. You talked before we went live about giving birth, and it still has been. Although we've given birth, there's still kind of that afterbirth feeling. I don't know, for mothers out there, when you have a child, you still, even after you've birthed the child, you still feel like the child is still inside for a little bit. I feel like that, like I'm still birthing, even though it's here, it's still birthing, it's still being developed. And we're so excited for all the partners. You'll get to meet some partners in our advisory committee and our board members and our faculty and guest speakers and teachers and students that have grabbed onto this vision. Even as a baby, they see it for what it could be. And the long-term vision is to have a place that could be a campus, a residential campus for artists and creatives and faculty and residents, using music to advance the culture. And so it's kind of, long story short, how it started, where we are, how the Institute came to be.
Well, with anything, as you know, we've been doing this for a number of years. There is, as you said, there's a constant giving birth, because it's also fresh creativity.
Yes.
And the fact that the Lord has blessed you with so many gifts, particularly with a business mindset, has been and is still a major missing piece when it comes to independent artists,
Mm-hmm.
and exactly how to be classified as, as you said, their own label, where we still have traditional big labels, but as you said, the pandemic really kind of showed and
Mm-hmm.
leveled out the playing field for even mainstream artists as well, but
Yes.
still did not have that music business acumen
Yes.
to go, to go forth and know exactly, what do I own, what are resources. Okay, I'm not out there doing tours or,
Mm-hmm.
making guest appearances, and that was my quote unquote my bread and butter.
Right.
And so having this institute come at a time like this definitely was God's way, I believe, of filling a gap that was more than desperately needed and giving.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about that.
Thank you. And we're honored to, we see our role as being here to serve the music industry and to serve creatives. And this curriculum really is career and technical education. We want people to be able to go beyond their gift and just a performance and be able to take that performance, but understand publishing, understand promotion, understand, production, and just have a very holistic approach to be a sustainable long-term person having a career in the music industry. We think that's important for entrepreneurship, for small business development, for legacy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're
Um,
excited.
so when you talk about, and I know you're going to, it's time to go into your overall overview of what is the core message of the institute itself, but let's talk a little bit about going past, because I think there is a hiccup. You kind of get a little bit of information, and then you don't know what the information.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Something as simple as like an EIN, or something as simple as registering your business or your label, or so on and so forth. Um, let's go over some of the curriculum items that you have available at the institute itself.
Sure. So we started this past year. This was the first year that we actually had programs. So we had some online courses that started off with music business essentials. And the first course was for women only, because we really feel like that's an area that is a needed, underserved group of people that are underserved in the music industry. And so that group of women are on fire, and they learned everything from how to come up with the name of your label, how to get your tax ID number, how to form your LLC, what is an LLC, how to work with other producers, how to apply for your copyright, how to register with a pro, with a ASCAP or BMI, Performance Rights Organization.
Mhm.
And then just really, that's just kind of the nuts and bolts of it. But then there's a whole avenue of marketing that has to be addressed. And we talked about marketing, we talked about how to get your music on the radio. And they had a chance to talk with radio announcers and radio producers and station managers about what radio stations look for. And so that same curriculum that started off just for women, it has expanded for everyone. It's how to launch your independent label. And we just finished that course in the summer. And that course took the essentials course to the next level and prepared a business plan so that labels could
Nice.
prepare to pitch their label to investors. And you're going to hear from people that served on a panel of real bankers and real investors. And they were like, you think they were at Shark Tank, the way they were asking these
Wow.
questions and presenting and giving, talking about 3 years of projections, return on investment for their label and the artists they're signing and the marketing plans. And because we want them to know you're running a business. This is your label, and you're going to need to get funding. And here's how to apply, for loans. And here's how to approach an investor. And so we want our creatives to not just be artists. We want them to hold on to their creativity, hold on to the artistry, but be able to handle their business as well and put together a team. They have to work in teams.
Yeah.
And that's very important.
In the ebbs and flows of, and I know we have a couple of guests that are already we're prepared to come in.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is going to be, when you touched upon the marketing piece. Now that is a beast by itself.
Yes, it's a whole thing by itself.
And coming into a space, wow, just making me think that this is dropped in your belly, in your lap, at a time when even a lot of independent artists and mainstream didn't know how to operate, coming into social media and still make themselves, relevant enough. Like I said, if you're a big name, you're always going to have that name.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
some of them were still struggling. How do I
Yes.
still connect with my, with my fans? How I connect with my team?
Mm-hmm.
What we don't even know how long we're going to be in this. So what do
Right.
we do? And everything is kind of turned upside down to, reinvent yourself in a way and in a space that's so unfamiliar with a lot of people.
Right.
Um, so for you to come in and for the Institute of Music Business to come in at a time like this, that's a major piece.
We're
That's
so thankful. We're so thankful because you're right. COVID changed everything. And even before COVID, the market and the music industry was already shifting. With digital distribution, it was already shifting, and the playing field was already leveling in a way. Although there still are majors, the door opened up to all these independent labels that really outnumber the majors,
mhm,
but they have access to all these tools, but they don't really know how to use them. Even artists that were signed for major labels, they didn't handle their marketing,
that's
right? They had teams to do that stuff, and now they're independent and they're like, I'm famous, but I don't know what to do with my career, right? We have people in our courses that have won Grammys, that have
wow,
come
that's
to us
amazing.
to strengthen their independent labels. They're independent now, and they're saying, I've done that label thing, I've done the major thing, but I'm on my own now. And how do I make this work for me? Because you have access to all these tools, but you didn't have access to the teams.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's what's most important, that you have a strong team. Someone has to handle the management, someone's handling the production, someone's handling your catalog and your publishing, someone's handling that marketing. That's a huge piece. The marketing promotion is really the majority of what a label provides. When you talk about independent artists having to make a decision about, staying independent or being signed to a label, it really comes down to, well, who's going to be paying for the marketing? That's the
And you,
difference. That's what makes a difference.
we're going to first of all, we got a little bit of time to talk about this because I mean, there's so many questions that we have to go. Even just like I said, this whole thing of the marketing is a beast by itself.
Yes.
And so we're going to come back to that question because I have quite a few questions. Hopefully, those are the questions that you are asking that are watching right now and you want answers to. So, hey, if you have a question you're watching right now on YouTube, please put it in the comments. I'll be checking that. If you have any questions for Angela, please feel free to do that. And once again,
Please.
please also share this live. If you are not an artist, but wait a minute, I got to get someone on this live and so you can see this information, catch this information, please do so right now. So copy that link, share it on your social media. Don't be a gatekeeper. We are here for you today for the next couple of hours, but also want to bring you into the picture how you can also be a part of the Institute of Music Business that is spearheaded by the one and only Dr. Angela Moss Poole.
Oh, thank you. It takes a team. I'm so thankful for my team.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead. We have a young lady in the queue right now that we want to talk about, and her name is Ella. Let's talk about Ella for a little bit.
Welcome, Miss Ella. So I'm so excited for Ella. So Ella is a jewel. Her mother, Tina Johnson, is a member or attended one of our Women of Music Business workshops.
Mhm.
And we had a session where we were songwriting and just having some icebreakers and having fun. And I, connected with Tina on her Facebook, and everybody was connecting. And I happened to see this clip of this beautiful jewel, this beautiful angel singing. I think she's about 10 years old. When I saw, she might have been still 9 years old, singing that, God made her. She could do anything because God made her, right? And I was just so mesmerized by this little girl. And I said to myself, who's this girl on Tina's page? And I
Mhm.
reached out to Tina and said, who is this? And I started to follow. And I was like, this is your daughter? We have to get her on the show. We have to let everyone hear her sing this song, because that's what this institute is about: young, educating the next generation. Although we have programs for adults,
Mhm.
we have after school programs for youth music business mentorship. And I don't know if you can see these some of these people on the wall, but we have this wall when you first walk in
Mhm.
of young icons, people that started young in the industry. I don't know if you can see, I'm in one of our
Mhm.
classrooms now.
Mhm.
Recognize some
Yeah.
faces. So we brought Miss Ella in and let her just be inspired, as we were just as inspired by her. And the younger you learn about
Absolutely.
this industry, the better. So 10 years old is not too early. You're going to hear from some other young creatives who are playing multiple instruments and producing music. And we're doing mentorship for 12-year-olds and 15-year-olds who already have GarageBand at home, and they just need to learn their business. And they come in. Listen, it's not after school program. It's not snacks and homework.
Mhm.
It's let's talk about your business and mentorship for 2 days a week. And parents are bringing in their children just as they would do piano lessons or vocal lessons or gymnastics, right? Or cheer.
Mhm.
They bring them in to talk about their business. And we're excited for young creatives like Ella, and I'm happy to introduce her to you.
Absolutely.
Along
Absolutely.
with her mother, Tina Johnson. Ella has won awards. She's won Tampa Bay Young Artist Award, several awards, and she just exudes excellence. And I'm so inspired by Ella.
All right. So right now we're going to bring into the room. Or do you want to play the music first, or what do you want it, how we want?
Would you like me to share my screen? I'm not sure if you all
Yes.
are seeing
Yeah.
what I'm sharing.
Yeah. Go ahead and share your screen so we can see young Ella's performance.
Okay, let's try to share Miss Ella's performance. The name of this song is God Made Me.
Hello, I'm Ella, and
Let me know if you can hear it.
I'm Ella.
I can hear it.
Can you see? Can you see it?
No, I can't see it.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen
I
now?
see it. I got it now. I'm going to put it right in here.
Okay.
There we go.
Hello, I'm Ella, and I'm 10 years old, and I want to wish you a happy Friendsgiving. God made me in His image. He made me just like Him. I am destined for greatness, purpose to do His will. I can speak to mountains, and they will move. Stretch my hand, and nothing to be. I can do the impossible because God made me. God made me in His image. He made me just like Him. I am destined for greatness, purpose to do His will. I can speak to mountains.
Hello, I'm Ella, and I'm 10 years old, and I want to wish you a happy Friendsgiving.
Work better?
God
There
made
we go.
me in His image. He made me just like Him. I am destined for greatness, purpose to do His will. I can speak to mountains, and they will move. Stretch my hand and cause things to be. I can do the impossible because God made me. God made me in His image. He made me just like Him. I am destined for greatness, purpose to do His will. I can speak to mountains, and they will move. Stretch my hand and call things to be. I can do the impossible because God made me. God said I am more than a conqueror. I can do anything. He said my name is victory if I obey and follow His lead. I can do the impossible because God made me. God said I am more than a conqueror. I can do anything. He said my name is victory if I obey because God made me. Because God made me. I was created for His glory. Because God made me.
Wow.
Exactly. Exactly. I was in tears.
Wow.
Get her in here. Yes. And listen, she
Wow.
came into our class. She's singing in one of our classrooms, flat footed, just sang that song. She's such a pro. Like one or two takes, both takes were perfect.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
She's
let's
just
not let,
amazing.
let's not keep her in the queue. Let's
Yes.
bring her in the
Yes.
room. Here we
Bring her
go.
in. Bring her in. And her
Here we
mother, Tina.
go.
Hey,
Oh,
Ella.
Ella.
How are
Hi,
you?
Tina. How are you? Welcome to Indigo Inspired Live and to Friendsgiving. Ella, you are awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word. I'm blessed just listening to you. And I'm not kidding. I really was. I'm in here with my lifted hands, like, come on
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Come on here. So, Ella, welcome. Welcome to Friendsgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to both of you.
Happy
Thanks.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's talk about the connection. Like, Tina, how did you get connected with Angela? And let's talk about this, how the ball got rolling.
Well, I saw her. There was a flyer that came out for women that were in music industry coming together for a meet and greet for Wound. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and do this because you don't really see too many opportunities or events like that catered specifically to women in the industry. I mean, we know it's kind of male dominated business, but we're glad to see that women are coming up in the forefront. And so I went on ahead and I registered to get in it because it was limited spaces. So I was like, oh, I can't wait. So I registered. And when I tell you it was one of the best things that I could have done just to kind of be in the atmosphere of other women from all walks of life who have the ability to share their stories through music, right? Written, spoken word. At the end of the day, it all kind of correlates. It makes a song some kind of way or a sermon or a poem. But that's how I connected with Miss Angela at that time. And so I was like, we stay pretty busy. I'm a working mom, but I still, run the business here with my daughter and serving other aspects. But I was going to make it a priority for me to be able to be in these type of atmospheres with other women because there's so much that you can learn. You never stop learning. I believe that we're all lifelong students. And so lifelong students. So I want to kind of learn more about the industry as I'm embarking on it with my daughter as her, you might as well say producer, her songwriter, her composer, along with some other momager.
Yes, momager.
That too. So that's how we connected. It's been a great, great learning experience. And I will advise other women who are also in the industry to come aboard. And when you see these events come again, that is by the Institute of Music Business, please jump on it because it will be worth your time, your investment, and you'll be able to network as well.
So, Ella, I have a question for you as a young upcoming music mogul. We're speaking that already.
Yes.
While you are young and you have the pliability of, that's a word we'll say, to say you have the capacity to gain information now. We're older, we're married, we got kids, we've got businesses, so the pliability and elasticity of our brain cells are kind of coming down. But for you, you have a bright future. You have an opportunity to gain so much information and put you literally not even 10 steps, I mean, maybe 50 or 100 steps ahead of so many people in the industry. And I know I'm probably saying a lot, but I really kind of get the sense that you understand that this is so important for you right now, where your peers in your age group are probably doing some other things, but you are putting your head already by the beautiful guidance of your mom into a business mindset. So how has that experience so far been for you at your age?
It's been a blast. It's been pretty cool because as a young music artist, I felt like God anointed me to represent His kingdom through gospel music. It was also a little bit of like a struggle for me at first because I used to get bullied for my height, and my mom, she was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make a song that tells you that you shouldn't care about what those bullies say. God made you enough, and everything that God made is good. So that means you're good.
First of all, somebody needs to put a cash app in this.
Okay.
I need somebody to put
Yes.
a cash app in there. So Ella, well, let me ask this for Tina because I know Ella, you're still under your young. So Tina, have you established already what's I want to make sure we get her Instagram and any social media following that you oversee for her and put that in there. How has that been for you as a momager? Yeah, please put them in the comments if you can.
Well, it's one thing. Eventually, I will release the story. I'm currently in the middle of writing a book. But Ella is a miracle baby. Ella was not necessarily playing. My first pregnancy, I miscarried at 6 months. And after going through that, I had made up in my mind at the time when I was married to my husband, I didn't want to do it anymore. And so I was ready to do, what most women do once they've had all their kids and just want to enjoy life. And when I went, they told me they could not because I was pregnant again. So 3 months after I lost Lola, here comes Emanuela. And so for me, with her name, the way we named our children, we're really big in our faith. And it was important for me at this time because I really could not really fathom what was happening. I knew it was a God thing. God had to be in it because I had made up in my mind what I wanted to do. But God actually said, you don't make that call, I do. And so it was important that when Emanuela came forth, I was totally relying on him when it came to rearing her, right? I needed his help because I wasn't in the mental capacity to really do it, dealing with grief and all of that. But one thing for sure, when God shows you something about your children, you got to take heed to it, all right? And so I did that. He showed me that Ella's now is going to favor her later, right? And so that's what I am doing now. I am following his lead. I'm investing in what he has gifted her to do. Outside of singing, Ella is also in musical theater. So we've been in New York. She's a public speaker. She has her own business, Ella's World LLC, that I've established for her. But ultimately, this is really just to let her know that what God created her to be and to do, right? A lot of times we rear our children, tell them that they got to wait till they get, older or grown and on their own. But I believe the scripture, what God said, he does give us the power to get wealth, and not from a financial standpoint, wealth in being who we are in our existence, whether as a child or an adult. And so I feel like Ella represents that for her peers, for the young peers, the young Christians, those who are saved, those who are not saved. I feel like God is going to use her life to really speak to those who have battled whatever she's battled with, either bullying. We've encountered kids who have dealt with depression. We've seen it all. And thankfully, God made me a song that you gave me to instill into her. Has really helped a lot of children. I've got a lot of calls and messages from parents that said that the song really helped them to speak to their children. So if anything, out of all of that Ella is doing, we understand that God ultimately gets the glory out of it. But we also want to let her know that he's the spotlight of it all, right? So when she goes anywhere, everybody says, oh my gosh, you're such a bright young lady, you're smart. But at the end of the day, this is God's doing. And it's marvelous in my sight. And I'm just grateful that he did give me an opportunity to be a mom, even though in my mind, I did not want that. But he knows what's best. And this is the result of what's best looks like when God ordains it.
Okay, first of all, I'm just... Tina,
ma'am,
I can't wait until you finish this book because there's so much that we could just continue to talk about with you. And I know we have so many people out in the queue, but let me just say this. God knows exactly what he's doing.
He does.
And Ella, you are in the best of care because I already am sensing that as long as your mom is in God's care, you will always be in the best of care. That's exactly it. You better hug your mother on Friendsgiving.
Right.
So anyway, Angela, I'm going to turn it over to you, back to you.
Well, I just want to thank you all again for coming in. And Ella, I'm inspired by you. And I want you to continue because when I was 10 years old, my mother saw music and singing. I was around the house singing and writing music, and she would try to put me in programs all the time. And I was deathly afraid to sing in front of people. I would do it, I'd do the Christmas play and I'd sing in the choir, but I would always, shrink back and try to stand in the background when I'd had opportunities to lead songs. And when I see you sing, it makes me think about my 10-year-old self and what my mother saw. And I'm so thankful for you, Tina. And I'm thankful, Ella, that you're open to all of it and you're here for it. You're totally here for it. You know that you're called by God and anointed and you're ready for it. And I'm looking at you and I'm seeing my 10-year-old self being afraid, and really finally blossoming, 20 years later and saying, okay, I'll let people hear my songs. I'll let them know that I sing. Because I was hiding behind, I'll just go to school, I'll learn math, I'll be smart. I'll just do that. I don't want people to know I can sing. I was afraid to let them know that I had a voice. And so I'm so inspired by you because you can be smart and sing. And I see that in you, and so every time I look at you, I'm just delighted. It takes me back to my childhood and I'm so excited for everything that's ahead of you. You inspire me, and whatever I can do to be a part of your journey, I'm honored. And so thank you for spending time with us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. Once again, happy Thanksgiving, Tina. Happy Thanksgiving, Ella.
Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
We'll see you soon.
Thank
Well, I
you.
tell you what, everybody, if this is how this is starting out, and I want you guys to know right now, this is the opportunity for you to share the link, share the information. Once again, I'm going to probably be saying this periodically. Do not keep the information to yourself. Don't be a gatekeeper, because this is so incredible what is happening already. The seeds that you're planting right now, Angela, in this little girl, you know, you may not see the full fruition of it, because we live in mortal bodies, but what you are seeing so far from your yes.
Yes. Yes.
What does that feel like for you? And what does it feel like to have both of them here? And what does it feel like right now in this moment that, hey, I'm really on here doing a Friendsgiving about IMB, Institute of Music Business? What does that
You're
feel
gonna make me
like?
cry. Stop, Patrice. You're gonna make me cry. We talked about birth. And I feel like
Take your time.
I'm
This is why
crying in
we
front of these people. It's not just a birth of IMB. It's a rebirth for me. I get to sow into these young people and even these adults. I have people my age that come through here and they get to start over. They get to continue on their journey. And I get to be a part of it. It's so rewarding. And it's ministry in a different way. It's not in a pulpit, it's not on a platform, and it's beautiful because we're advancing the culture through music. We get to talk about how we can solve the world's problems with our music, right? How we can speak to it with our music, and we get to empower each other with our music. And I just know that I get encouragement every day. People are like, keep doing what you're doing. This is awesome what you're doing. And I'm so thankful for the people that have given. You're going to meet some of our founder circle members and friends of the Institute, people that have said, I believe in this, keep doing this, and it's so encouraging because it helps me to be reborn. It helps me to reclaim, all what God has for me. And it helps me to be able to be making music and teaching and doing business, and finally live out my calling and my life's work, helping other people. So it really has been more of a blessing to me than anything.
I'm so glad that because I felt the tears, and I really do feel them behind my eyes, and I'm not going to do that today because I'm on this platform.
I know.
But I will say that one of the things that is so beautiful about God's faithfulness is when he sees that he's already given you a gift, and you are the walking example amongst thousands of people who took the gifts and the talents and you didn't bury them. You didn't bury them. You said, I'm going to go back out with the gifts and I'm going to find a way to multiply the gifts so that when he comes back, come on here,
Right.
I can
That's right.
present, I can say,
Here's
and you
what.
don't even have to say it because he already sees it.
Yes.
But the fact that you
Amen.
know you can present to him even more than what he gave you, that is called I can trust you.
Amen.
And
Thank
I
you.
can trust you. So this, and that's really what I want to share. So Tina, if you're still watching and you'll watch the replay with Ella, it's because he can trust you. And the more you've put into Ella, the more he's given you to be able to give to her. And that seed that's being on those seeds that are being planted in Ella right now are going to be seeds that she's going to sow to other people.
Yes.
So, but it started with you, Angela. It started
Wow.
with your
I'm
yes.
honored. I'm honored and humbled that God would even use me in this way. I'm just honored, like, okay, Lord, whatever you want, you know, whatever I have, whatever I can share, whatever experience and guidance I can give, I'm just blessed to be able to do it.
And it's showing, and it is absolutely showing. So let's move on because I tell you, this may end up being 4 hours. So,
My team just brought me some more.
and we're going to go. And I did put
Thank you.
for those of you that are watching, please make sure I'm putting the links in the YouTube links and the social media within the comments so that you can go ahead and grab those and share those. And please make sure you follow little Ella
Yes.
on her social media. It would be so encouraging to leave just a little positive love note in on her social media, just letting her know how much you have been blessed by just this little snippet and introduction to who she is as a young new music mogul. I'm
Yes.
seeing a couple things in the chat. Okay, so we're going to talk about well, it's Friendsgiving, and it's an
Yes.
opportunity for people to kind of also come in partnership next with you about the institute. So let's talk about why we are doing this Friendsgiving today.
Absolutely. Today is a day of giving thanks. I really want to thank all of the people who already have been supporting the Institute for Music Business. I want to thank our founder circle, which I have donors, Patrice, who have pledged and given more than $25,000. And those are transformational gifts. And those people are considered our founders. And so we have a group of people that are in our founders circle. And then I have people that have given, $2,500 or more. And those are people who are friends of the Institute. And these are people just off me meeting with them and sharing the vision, or maybe they've met someone or, came across our website, decided to give when we were early building, didn't even have a space, didn't have a computer, didn't just had a vision, just me saying, this is an idea, right? That started giving. And I'm so thankful for them. I'm thankful for every gift of every amount, not just the large gifts. There have been so many people that have given, and I wanted to have a time to say thank you to them, and thank you to our instructors, thank you to our faculty, thank you to my husband who's lifting tables, and I have a little hard hat that I got for him. Can you pass
Mhm.
me that IMB hard hat? I bought him a little IMB hard hat because he's always here connecting a cable or painting a wall or doing something, sweeping, doing something, picking up speakers. So he has this little IMB hard hat
Aw, go ahead, Corey.
because we're building something. This every time we see this, we're like, we're building. I'm thankful for my staff, even Mikhail, who's here helping. Let you see her. She's always repping IMB. Mikhail's our music theory.
Hey, Mikhail, go for it, girl. Go
Yes,
for it.
this is my right hand. I tell everybody, this is my right hand. Mikhail is just there with me, walking this through with me. She's been teaching and singing and leading choirs and doing stage productions. And she's going to be teaching music theory. She's leading the youth music business mentorship program. And she's always there repping IMB. And my son Bachi, who's around here somewhere, also songwriting, is always building. I want to make sure there's a day to say thank you first and let people know what we're doing, right? And so this is Thanksgiving, but it's Friendsgiving. So we're raising friends, but we're also giving an opportunity for people to come alongside with us and give if they would like to. So we have a link on our website. Our website is just I'm business.
I just put that right
IMbusiness.org.
there in the comments, right
Yes.
there for everybody.
And you can,
Yes.
yes. And you can also text IMB friend to 53555 and text to give. And, we're just thankful for any gift of any amount. We've had people that donated computers, iMacs, laptops. We've got people that donated fully loaded software on about 15 computers in our computer lab with everything: Pro Tools, Reasons, Logic, Adobe. I mean, just fully loaded workstations. I'm just thankful for people that have given everything: speakers, they've given tables and chairs, they've given marker boards, and they've given of their time. I just wanted to come on and say thank you. So Friendsgiving is about just saying thank you. That's really why I wanted to do this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's talk about the virtual level. How are we shifting and expanding it even from a virtual classroom space? What is the vision concerning that, maybe this year or maybe the following year?
Yes. So we've had summer classes and spring classes online, even fall classes online. And we'll continue to have online workshops and clinics. But we start in January in-person classes for a full-on 6-month certificate program. So there's an evening and weekend programs for adults. And for us, an adult can be as young as 16 if you have a GED.
Okay.
You can come to our adult program, and it's twice a week in the evenings, or you can select. Some people have asked for Saturdays. Some people want to travel because we're located in Tallahassee.
Mhm.
They want the hands-on. So if you want to travel, there's a Saturday option for you too. And that certificate programs that starts in January, the first 2 months, you're in kind of a lecture time, learning. You're learning Pro Tools, you're learning music, business, and marketing. You're in the theory part,
Yeah.
right? And then the second term, the second 2 months, you're working on capstone projects. You're working in teams. You have to choose a track. Either you're going with the independent label track, you want to be a mogul, or you want to become a super producer and actually have a studio and do production. And so you choose your track and you work in teams to produce a project for a real artist.
Mhm.
Okay, so the label side has to do the manager tour, do all the publishing and promotion for that artist, and the production side has to produce that EP, working with the label for the
Yeah.
cover design and everything. So they have to work together. And then the third term, which is the last 2 months, they go on internship,
Oh,
and they
let's
work.
talk, let's talk about the internship. What does that look like?
They work for real companies. We have partners, and later I might be able to shout out some of the names of them, but we have partners. We have music studios, we have labels, we have production companies, we have marketing companies, we have radio promotion companies, radio stations who've asked for our students to come and work with them. And they say, we want your students, but we don't want them until they've finished their certificate program. And we want this to be a prerequisite for them to come work for our studios. And so our students will, after 6 months, be able to apply all of that knowledge and go on an internship and come out not only with the education, with training, with skills, with experience, with contacts and connections, because that's the main thing that sometimes you don't get from other programs. Yes, there are programs you can go get a degree in commercial music, and I'm not one to talk about. I'm not going to say you don't need an education. I can't say that, right? I'm sitting here with all these degrees. Of course, I love education. But for the music industry, it's more important that you have the knowledge, the experience, and the connections. And so we want to make sure you know the software, you know Pro Tools, you're a great producer, you're a great songwriter, you know how to compose music, you know how to do the publishing and manage the revenue and the production and promotion around that music. And you've got connections. You can call somebody, right? You've worked in the industry. You worked alongside someone, because you're going to need that to have longevity. So we make sure you get all that in those 6 months and that certificate. And that starts in January in person.
That's and once again, for them to register, that's going to be at imbusiness.org.
imbusiness.org. You can go to our programs, and registration is open for that program. You can pay for the whole 6 months at once, or you can do it by term. And there's different payment options there. If some people can't, pay it at once, I have financing options available as well on the website. You just click learn about tuition and fees and go right ahead and register. There's also a songwriting clinic that's coming up January 6th. So we have things you can kind of get in bite-sized pieces. Maybe you just do a clinic. Maybe you just do a free mixer like we did for Womb. Maybe you do a 6-week online course. Maybe you're not ready to jump into a 6-month certificate. So we have different offerings. But there's a songwriting clinic that's coming January 6th. And we're going to have Grammy and Billboard charting songwriters facilitating that workshop.
Um,
And that's just $99. That's in person. It's limited to 25 people. And we will walk out of there learning about song structure, how to write for film and TV, how to write songs that, are radio quality, how to collaborate with others. We'll learn about how to write for different genres. I have people that write, maybe they write in their church, but they learn how to write hip hop and R&B hooks.
That's a whole left brain, right brain situation there, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're training people to step outside of their box,
Yeah.
and be able to cross genres. And so that's what that clinic will be. It's a one-day clinic. Then there's a course just for churches, Patrice. In February, I have a workshop for churches to start their label.
You better.
Why can't your church do what Bethel Music is doing and Hillsong Worship is doing? Everybody knows the best singers and musicians are in the church. Everybody knows that. So churches can get organized, and I have a workshop where I teach people how to start their church label.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pump the brakes because I need to see these numbers go up. I need you to please share this live. If that light bulb just went off for you and you just said, wait, my church, wait a minute, hold on. We've got the best musicians. I'm just going in my head right now of just a catalog of musicians in my own mental Rolodex that I know right now that are playing for other churches. But wow, just to be able to have that, see, that's a gift again. Once again, that's that expanded view of exactly how you can take the music business to the next level, even within your congregation. So, I mean, this is not gatekeeping information. I told you I'm going to drop this word every now and then. Don't gatekeep. Please make sure you share this live right now to those of you. I don't care if you have a minister of music. I don't care if you have, if you know the musician, the MD, and and they've got such a love for music and they could see just the potential within what they're doing. Please make sure you share this link with them, and so that we can let them know what's happening down at IMB, the Institute of Music Business, down in Tallahassee, Florida. So we've got in the queue, we've got more people in here. So let's
bring them all in, because I know we're
they
going
are,
over time.
They are lined up.
Bring them in. Bring them in.
You want to bring them all in? You want to bring them all in?
Bring them all in.
Bring them all in. Okay. Here we go. We're gonna bring K-Ro into the
K-Ro.
Hello.
Hi. Good morning. What is it? Afternoon.
Thank you so being so patient, Karen. I know you've been back there waiting. And listen, thank you for being one of our first guest speakers in our Essentials for Women course.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing that course again in March for Women's History Month. We're excited to do it again. And so you spoke into the lives of those women, Karen, and I'm so thankful for you.
You know what? I was just so honored to even be invited to speak to those women. And one of the things when I first heard the term WOMB, the acronym WOMB, I first thought about everything that God has impregnated you with, that He has placed on the inside of you, and finally you were able to push that out and give birth to that, and now, like, as a midwife, you are helping these other women give birth to what God has put on the inside of them. And so if I could come alongside you and help in any way, I'm just honored to do it. I really am.
Oh, thank you. And hopefully Patrice will get a chance to show a little clip about womb, and maybe we can try to play Ina again, because Ina was a part of womb. Ina was in the class that Karen spoke in.
Yeah, we'll try to get that later on in the show. We've got people lined up. They are lined up to come into the room.
Yeah, let's bring them in.
Let's bring them in. We have the one, Michelle Carter is here. Michelle, how are you?
Hello.
How are you? We're going to call him in. We'll bring TJ Chapman is coming into the building. Oh, it's getting crowded here. Okay, I'm telling you, you've got to share this link. They're coming in.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friendsgiving.
All right, here we go. We got Tony Mercedes. Tony is in the room.
Absolutely. Hey, Tony, thank you guys for coming. Tony's here all the way in the West Coast. Thank you. It's probably 9 a.m. right now for you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Awesome.
Listen, I have to tell you, Patrice.
Wait. Wait,
I'm gonna let
you,
everybody come in. Then I'm gonna tell you something about everybody.
my dude. You didn't tell me you're bringing my dude in the
I
building. You
do.
didn't tell the one and only Cheryl Williams from Gospel Music Buzz is in the room.
Yes, the one and only. Let me tell you
Awesome.
about everybody on. Are there more, Patrice?
I'm waiting for. I saw Mr. Pie Man. I'm not gonna say his
Okay.
name. I'm waiting for him to come back into the room too. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'll just want to give my flowers to each person individually. So with Karen has been here. We talked to Karen. Karen, thank you so much again for just always being there, being a supporter, and always being willing to do whatever I ask, and especially concerning women and speaking into the lives of the women in these courses. Karen is a radio personality, multi-stellar award-winning station WIMG, and kudos to you. Listen, we have Dr. Michelle Carter sitting here by this beautiful Christmas tree and these beautiful stockings and beautiful
It's laryngitis.
fireplace. Yes. Dr. Michelle Carter is a member of our Founders Circle, and we thank you so much for that generous pledge that you made. I'm so thankful because I remember sitting with you years ago, sharing an idea over several lunches and brunches, just telling you, I'm thinking of doing this, thinking of doing that. And you've been there alongside, watching it come to fruition and just kind of cheering me on and supporting. And I'm so thankful for you. Dr. Carter has a book she's writing about, which she has already put out, about the making of her son, the amazing Vince Carter. So you all check out her book. She talks about what it takes to create a Vince Carter, and the way that only she can tell it. So she
That's
also
why
runs
I'm
a
so
school of hope.
excited by what you're doing. I'm a retired educator. I've seen kids in high school and those gatekeepers, mom and dad, these kids love their mom and dad. Mom feeds dad, feeds us, puts a roof over our heads, clothes on our bodies. But parents have their idea of where this child should go. And I see so many young people, that's not where they want to go. And the gatekeepers won't open the gate so the kids can get out and run and flourish and do what they want to do. A lot of them in the music industry, a lot of them in certain sports. And as parents, we love our kids, but sometimes we just get in the way of where God wants that child to go.
That is so
So,
good.
so I'm excited about that.
Thank you for all that you're doing. And many people may not know that even Vince is musical. He was in the band. He was a drum
Yes,
major. So
we
you can
opened the
have
gate and
multiple
let him
talents.
just go.
Right,
And it
right.
ended up being basketball. Praise God, because that's been really, really good. But you open the gate and let them sample and see what sticks and where the heart is and the passion is.
I love it. I love it. We also have Tony Mercedes, who also can speak to children and their careers. He's a Grammy award-winning music publisher and songwriter. If you all know the song "Scrubs" by TLC, he's written with Ed Sheeran, and he's
Yeah.
the I don't know if I should call you the founder of the what is that sound, that whoop, there it is, and who let the dogs out sound, whatever we call that
Yeah.
sound. He's
Well,
the creator of that. Mr.
yeah,
Tony
well,
Mercedes, I'm
hey,
honored.
Wow.
good morning or good afternoon, rather. Number one, I'm not the creator. Sounds been around for a minute. I'm one of the pioneers. I guess.
Pioneers. Yes.
But there were many. We're doing the same thing and doing it successfully. Jay Chapman was part of that movement.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
you know, you know, I'm a music publisher. I didn't write on the TLC song or the Ed Sheeran song, but I do own part of the copyright because I actually put the whole TLC song together. And without me, with no Scrubs, and without no Ed Sheeran. So
That's right.
in terms of just the shape of it. But one thing I spend a lot of time really talking about is what the future looks like. As many of us know, so make up, um, the kids make up 50% of our population, but they also make up 100% of our future. So we have to sow seeds to them and make sure that we lead them in the right direction and let them learn from some of our mistakes. So I think that there's a responsibility to some of us that are in this business to keep it 100 with your kids and let them know that this is what you're doing, this is what you should do now. You can't make, like my mama used to always say, lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. So, but it's our responsibility to make sure that we get our kids water. Stillwater. So, and that's one of the things I take a lot of pride in. I put together a concert series for kids called Dream Fest, where my average ticket buyer is only 6 and 7 years old, and
Mm.
it's been very successful. And we talk about the bullying problems, we talk about social influence, we talk about you know uh, peer pressure among other kids and things of that nature. So it's a very promising tour, and we've had about 8 or 9 successful shows, and we have an average of from 2,000 to 4,000 every time we do it. So, God is really blessing us and giving me the opportunity to kind of pay it forward. The business has been very good. So now it's like, you know what? Now we're talking about legacy, and I don't want to be remembered for, oh, that's the guy that did my Big Daddy, Daisy Duke, what other crazy records.
Right,
We want to
right.
make sure that I leave an impact and a stamp here. So I'm planting, I'm planting for a tree I never get to see grow, but
Mm.
I planted that tree, and those that receive the shade from that tree will receive it way past when I'm gone.
Yes. And I'm grateful that you've chosen to spend some of your time planting with IMB and that you're serving on our advisory committee. I've learned so much from you and I've enjoyed spending time with you, working with some of the younger artists that you're managing that you're doing these shows with. Had a chance to go backstage and mentor one of the artists that Tony's working with and even write with and collaborate with. And I'm just thankful that you for the time that you give and for the wisdom that you share with us as part of our advisory committee.
I mean, listen, it's my honor. You have always been, one of the great characters to me. I love platform and I love what you stand for. And you and I both agree the only way to predict our creating a platform that's going to just beneficial for those who get the information. And you've invited some really deep guests here, so I can't wait to see what they have to say. And I'm super excited about what holds for your organization. I'm glad to be part of it.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're excited for our interns to be ready to assist with some of your projects that you have as well. We want them to be ready to serve the industry. So we appreciate the input that we get from you on just things they need to be learning. And as we're observing what you're doing, we're thinking, okay, let's tweak this curriculum because our students need to know how to do this when they get into the real world. So I appreciate that. It's keeping our curriculum real time and up current. Next, Mr. TJ Chapman. Welcome, welcome. TJ,
Hello.
oh no, TJ's DJs. He's a manager. He's manages B.O.B. Trap Beckham. He in Tallahassee is really another pioneer, and we're thankful to have you, TJ. Thankful that you've been associated with major artists from T-Pain to I think we learned in one of the courses that you were a speaker in this summer that you were one of the most top 5 most successful songs with Airplane and Haley, and just being involved in that with Haley Williams and B.O.B. and even what you bring to us from the artist management input that you gave on panels and our courses. I'm just thankful for what you bring as well as a member of our advisory committee. So thanks for coming on today.
Appreciate it.
And then we have Mr. Sherwin Williams. So Sherwin is gospel music buzz, PR, all things tech, PR, marketing. Sherwin came on a panel with some students who were pitching their labels. Sherwin, you guys were tough on our students. So I appreciate you giving them a real world experience. You and Dr. Carter were very tough on those students. And I appreciate you taking it so seriously because they learned and they appreciated it as well. Thanks for coming on today.
Indeed, indeed. Excited to be here.
And then we have Uncle Freddie, Fred Jerkins. We have already been raving about your pies. I was sharing my Friendsgiving food here, and I told him I still had your pie, another pie that I saved. We had one yesterday too. And those who may or may not know, Fred Jerkins is the CEO of Dark Child Gospel, and he's part of the songwriting and production team of Dark Child, all things Dark Child, and just multiple Billboard and Grammy and Platinum, any accolade you can achieve in music. He's done it multiple times in different genres, and we're just thankful have you with us today, and grateful to have you on our advisory committee and to have you as a friend of the Institute,
Absolutely.
making a very generous gift. So I'm just so thankful that all of you took time out of your day to be here today and just share what IMB means to you, why it's important to do what we're doing, and just, anything you want to share for people that might be listening.
Okay, well, so I'm going to help facilitate that process. I'm going to start with T.J. Chapman. I'm going to highlight you and just kind of share your thoughts. Because I know you got to look. I saw his eyes. I saw your eyes. You're like, just a
Hey,
little bit of something,
so
just a little bit of
so
something about your,
so
your
you
experience and what you want to, what you're feeling right now.
okay? So start over on that for me. Say that again.
What you're feeling about being a part of IMB, and what does that mean for you in terms of how you are sowing seeds to the next generation of musicians?
I mean, to be honest, something I'm definitely proud to be a part of. But for more than anything, like I just like giving back and letting people know, how to go about achieving their goals and that all things are possible. Um, I like helping people become successful. And what better way to start with the youth and the students.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much for sharing that.
Yes.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. And we're going to take it to the next advisory member. We've already spoken and heard from Michelle Carter. Thank you so much. We'll come back to you in a little bit. Mr. All Things Buzzing in the Industry, the one and only Sharon Williams from Gospel Music Buzz. Let's talk about your connection with IMB, with Angela, and what you see happening in the future as far as your connection with the Institute.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, rather. Yeah, I think when I spoke with Angela and Corey just a while back, and they were kind of sharing the vision and what they were thinking about doing, and just starting where they're starting and getting a brick and mortar and kind of just going through the whole thing. I thought to myself, I'm like, wow, this is just something that is super impactful. It's something that is needed. I mean, it's one thing to talk about just the music side of things or just the songwriting or the production, but also getting the opportunity to sit in on that pitch panel. It shows that it was a whole lot more that was went into just the thought process, like individuals coming out thinking about starting their own label, thinking about the business aspect, just thinking about the things that really matters for longevity outside of just some of the glitz and glams or the things that may just seem super exciting at first, and just everything else that's going into it, at least for what little bit that I've been exposed to just by talking and just by observing and seeing. I think that's necessary, and it's necessary not only for the industry, but also just, necessary for, like someone's mentioning just now, for leaving a lasting legacy, right? And also, I mean, not to bring it back, bring everything back to race, but also to just from a black and brown community. I feel as though, seeing kids that are being empowered and being able to take something that is just going to be, beyond what you're seeing on the television or beyond what you're seeing elsewhere, but just really thinking business mind and business focus. It's a great thing. So kudos, Angela, to you and the entire team for what you guys are building.
And thank you for being a part of that panel. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do that.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And we're not going to say last but not least, because that's the last shall be first. Listen, we bring them in. The one and only Fred Jerkins, Uncle Freddie, is in the building. Listen, I'm so glad to have you guys on here. And just let me say, first of all, before we even allow him to speak for a minute, I need you two who are watching this live right now, take a look at the people that are on this live right now. This is getting free access of information and connections that you need to copy this link and share this live. This is the first step for some of you that may have just stumbled on here, don't even know how I got in this live, but it is really an avenue for you to take that next move to be a part of IMB, the Institute of Music Business. So please make sure that you copy this link, share this live, and also I'm going to put into the comments the website for the Institute of Music Business, imbusiness.org, and be a part and sign up. You probably know a young person, or even it's you yourself, that I've been waiting for an opportunity to get connected. I don't know where to start, how the process works, and I'm just floundering out here without any safety net. We are providing for you today on Friendsgiving. This is not a sales pitch. This is an opportunity. Let me say it again. This is not a sales pitch. Nobody on this platform needs your funds. They are providing a service for you to be able to garner information that will take your music career to the next level. If you were on earlier when we first started, we had Ella on here talking about how her mom got her connected with the IMB Institute. And now with the things that are happening in her young life at 10, 11 years old. So please make sure you share this live right now. Take a screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot right now of everybody that's on this panel. This is what you're going to be getting, gleaning valuable information from. So even if you are an artist and you think, I got it, you don't have it. I'm just here to say you don't have it. Information is always changing. Things are always happening. Things took place before COVID hit. And when COVID hit, it made a level ground for everybody. You don't have the information. But what we've done, we've calibrated. God has given the gift and the influence that Angela has, Dr. Angela Moss Poole has, to now have these influential people within the industry to come alongside her and help carry this baby. So please make sure you share this live. And right now, we're going to bring on the Pie Man himself, Uncle Fred.
Pie Man.
Yes, I've been renamed the Pie Man. It seems. Yeah. So for me, I'm super excited to be involved with this. Anybody? Well, first of all, let me say thank you to Angela. For her vision, because I'm one to firmly believe that education of our business is crucial. I think it's so many times, so many people have complaints about things that probably shouldn't be a complaint, but it should be, the complaint should be being uneducated in their situation. So that's the first thing. We can have the talent, but we need the education to really drive the true meaning of success. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to be a part of it. I know Angela does all things in success. I mean, look what we have on the screen right here. So this is great. So I'm excited and can't wait to see what comes out of it and what's developed, and see, it's the success stories that will happen from the students here. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. It is something that Tony said a few moments ago when he was making his comments. It's like planting the seeds of a tree that you may not live. You know, for the most part, you may not you may not live to see the fruit of it. But to know that you have partnered with an organization like IMB to plant those seeds, and know that you're sowing into good ground with your time, with your resources, with your connections. I want to pose that to you because Tony, you've already expressed that, and that was really beautifully done. To be honest with you, that was a really great example. I'm going to shift that same thing to you, Uncle Fred. Just you, Fred. What is it like to know? I mean, you've been there, you've done that. A lot of you have, and I'm going to also come back to you, TJ. So just prepare because I really want that answer from you as well. Because at one time you didn't have the information. And the way you garner the information is completely different from how people garner information now.
Mhm.
So let's talk about, if you don't mind, how you started getting into the business and learning it. And it's not, I'm sure it has not been a pretty journey. I'm sure you've got a lot of scrapes, bruises, cuts, beats, whole 9 yards, as all of you have. But let's talk about how that information was garnered then, and now the critical piece of how to garner information now.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I mean, my family was first generation in the music business. So, starting off with what, I found out later what seemed to be a good deal back then um, probably wasn't the best deal. You follow me? So, best. I mean, it might have been okay. It felt okay at the time, but if I would have been more educated in different situations, it would have been far more greater. So you kind of learned again, you learn from your mistakes. You learn from, from seeking to learn more. So as I learn more over time, um, from doing research, and you're like, wow, I shouldn't have did it this way. I should have played it this way instead. And even, trusting lawyers to guide you. I trusted my lawyer back then, to do all the right deals, but at the end of the day, a lawyer is getting a fee, and sometimes they want to, get their percentage, and that's it. So um, that's why I think it's real important to really dig deep into your research. Your ten different functions, but you got to be careful. Like right now, we're in a world of social media, so like if you're scrolling through Instagram, everybody's an expert, to you what you see. So if you don't know, you're scrolling, and there's so much, misinformation that you get from people. Everybody's claiming to act like they know everything, and I sit back sometimes like, what in the world is you talking about? And sometimes even sitting on panels, you can be on panels sometimes and still get misinformation. So I think it's important to, even when you thought you learned something, go back and double check what you just learned sitting at on a panel or social media. Just don't take it as gold, but go back and try to follow up and learn more, and confirm, what people are saying. I think it's important.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to also now at this point, same question, TJ, to you. Um, how you came into getting and garnering information to have a successful career, the difference between then when you first started and now the importance of learning how to shift with the new technology and the ways of doing things within the industry.
I mean, when I first started, shit, all you could do really was read a book. My favorite, my Bible. All you need to know about the music business by Donald S. Passman. And then outside of that, you had to pull up. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have all this stuff, all this stuff on YouTube that we can watch, and TikTok and all this stuff. So it's like the way that you learned information, the way that you met people, you had to pull up on them. You had to go to these conferences, these different music industry events, to learn the stuff. Now it's like you can. I mean, if I want to learn something now, I just Google it. I Google it, look at the websites, listen to podcasts, watch documentaries, watch YouTube videos. Like, there's so many different ways if you want to learn the business, you can. But I mean, it depends on how bad you want to learn it, though. For me, I feel like I'm learning every day still. The day when I stop learning is the day when I need to leave this business alone.
I love that. I love that you just said that. You are still learning the business. You're still open for growth. And that is so critical. That is so critical. Well, Angela, what are your thoughts behind what he just said?
Well, I'm just so thankful because as you were talking, TJ, I was thinking I imagine that's probably why you started TJ's DJs with the DJ pools. Like people needed a way to get their music out to radio stations. I imagine in those days we were still pressing up, CDs, and how different it must be now. We use We Break Records through Fred's company for radio promotion for our label and servicing. And there's a whole like digital way that is happening now, with some way, I guess they're getting it out to the panels. But even how that has changed, just letting DJs hear your music then versus now, that whole process is so different. And even Tony, you shared with me, we talked about stories of, having to go into the radio stations and try to get them to, play your music, even how that has changed to today. It's so different.
Yeah, it's the whole business has changed. One of the things that I would say is important for people to have the ideology. I am not in the music business. I'm in the business of two different businesses. And one of the things, press, we know that this business is pretty much unfair to people that look like us.
Mm-hmm.
I've always looked at it kind of like slavery. 40 acres and a mule, they get a big house and a Benz, as long as we give our masters to the masters. So one of the things that I want, I preach independence. I preach, I remember when I I couldn't put $2 together, and I had a record and got turned down by every radio, every record company. And one day I said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna put this record out myself. So I borrowed $1,500 from my dad, $800 from my ex-wife. I took $2,300 and turned down $15 million in groceries on one record called D. So if you think God ain't in the blessing, I'm proof positive. Right now, I'm sitting, I'm doing this Zoom in the back of my Maybach, and it ain't nothing but God, because I'm not musically inclined like that. I've always been on the business side, so I've lived my whole life never ever touching a key on a keyboard or a string on a guitar. But I've always been able to cut some great deals, and I guess God gave me the vision. If I'm wrong, Angela, you know, but I think Proverbs 29:18, where it says, "Where there is no vision, shall perish." So God gave me the vision to be able to do. And right now, I just want to spread some of this love so that, like I said, when I'm gone, you know, some of these seeds will just bear some beautiful fruit. And I can't wait till I'm upstairs looking down and seeing, you know, the results of my kindness and generosity, my willingness to share. So
I love it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, okay, so right now, Angela, we're going to put in the comments. I mean, I'm putting in the comments the website once again
Sure.
about the donations. So it's coming right there for if you would like to text to give and make a donation. No donation is too small, and I'm putting that right there. Hold on, let's put it in the comments for you. And that is You're going to write in the word donate for your text to give. If you'd like to give, donate, text to give, IMB friend to 53555. And I put it right there in the comments for those of you who would like to come alongside Angela and support what is happening there, IMB. So, Angela, anything that you'd like to say to your founders before?
I'm just forever grateful to you. I am grateful to you because you all came alongside me to support this vision before we even really got started. You helped me to start, and so we are building this together. So you all get an honorary hard hat too, because you're building with us. Each of you are helping to build this. And I pray for the day that we can have walls and halls with your names, because I'm just so thankful that you all were here from the very beginning to say, yes, I see what you see, and I believe you can do this, and I want to help you do it. And I'm just so grateful.
hey,
Thank
Angela,
you. Thank you.
I want to say one last thing. I'm rewinding what Mr. Dirk said. You know, we did a lot of deals back in the day that were bad deals, and my stomach turns now. Sometimes when I'm in my office and I have a whole lot of gold and platinum plaques on the wall, and sometimes I just want to take one of those plaques and I want to smash it on the ground. And then I know people would probably say, "Well, Tony, why would you do that?" And my response would be, "Would you hang a picture of the person that raped you on your wall?" And that's how real it is. So we want to make sure that IMB, you know, is about sharing information, about educating those coming up, because we've had our 15 minutes. We've already made our mistakes. Now, we're on the downswing, Mr. Dirk, as you know, and I know that our days are limited here. So, but there's a new Mr. Jerkin, a new Mr. TJ, new Tony Mercedes. You got to make sure that they don't make the same mistake.
That's right.
Lord knows, I would rather have the money that was stolen from me than the money I made. Real talk.
Wow. Now that's something. Say that again, Tony. That's a great quote.
I would rather have the money that was stolen from me than the money that I made.
Wow.
There's a text in the Bible that just kind of escaped me, but back to you, Tony, what you just said, and being on the downswing. I don't necessarily think it's a downswing as much as it is. There's such a garnering of responsibility of the information that you have gleaned. And if it's not passed on to the next generation, then you would have put it for the most part, like a barn, you've stored it for yourself. But I think the greatest gift of returning or giving back what you've already received is you'll be given more. So the opportunity that what you're doing right now for you and for Fred and and for TJ and those that are here right now is you'll be given more because what you weren't entrusted to, you are giving out. So you're making room for more. I'm just saying that. You're making room for more.
Well, like the Bible says, well, later for the hand of righteous. I try to do the right thing my latter years. You know what? I still might bless me one more good time. I don't know, man. I'm confident that uh, everybody on this panel, we have something to offer to that generation. I know we have something to offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
can I say one
Absolutely.
thing?
Oh yeah,
yes,
So,
you're next.
okay, because all the comments that were made, and I was just thinking about, like, especially the last three comments that were made, being a radio personality that really promotes and supports and has relationship with the many independent artists. I see it all the time. They have the talent, they have the content, they have the following, they have the anointing, they have all of that, but they make bad business decisions, and they don't know that they're bad until everything falls apart because of one decision. And so, something like this Institute of Music Business is so needed for these independent artists, for these artists that are up and coming. And even as Angela said, some artists that were, I'm sorry, Dr. Poole, some artists that had a record label behind them and now are transitioning into producing their own music and promoting their own music. They need to know this business end, because one wrong business decision can really destroy everything that you have been working for years. I've seen it happen. I'm seeing it happen. And yeah, this knowledge, this experience, these connections, so important.
yeah, but it's also important that we don't sell these kids on unrealistic dreams. I mean, the reality is, a kid has a better chance of playing for the Orlando Magic, having never dribbled a basketball, than being successful in the music business. That's real talk.
Yeah.
And in radio, as much as I appreciate radio has not been fair to the independent artists, because what we get when we go to radio is, well, you're an independent artist. Well, Drake is an independent artist somewhere, you know.
Mhm.
And but
Right.
and the mistake you talked about, the mistakes. Yeah, there's several mistakes, but one of the biggest mistakes is realizing that you can't have a successful record on radio unless you got some money. I mean, everybody got their hands out. The business is unfair to the independent artists. I would love to see some changes in radio. I'd love to see them being more open to independent artists, or even have us. I mean, give them 30 minutes a day to play all independent music. I mean, do something for that local person that's trying to get a start, because if you can't get a break at home, where else can he or she get a break at? It's unfair to them.
Absolutely. Agreed. Absolutely.
Can I make a quick comment? I think on what Tony mentioned just now, as far as not selling a realistic expectation, I think that's a fair point. But I believe part of this too, and I think everyone is echoing the same sentiments, is that by understanding and respecting the business side of things, is that you basically having your ducks in a row, right? Because if you don't have things registered the right way, if you don't have all these various things in place, and someone wants to come alongside you and say, hey, that's a really great song, right? We want to do a sync deal for this song. Can you ensure, can you send us over XYZ? And you're not even, you didn't even take care of who should be getting what from your splits, and who did this and who did that. Now they're going to look at that situation and be like, this just looks too messy. I don't think I want to do a deal with you, because the business wasn't really handled well, or whatever other aspect this may kind of fall under. So I think the fact that if you're building something and you're building it correct, and you have the business accolade in place, and you have certain things in place, you stand a better chance, I believe, that so you don't get passed over, right? Because they're always saying, hey, make sure that what is the saying that says, always be ready so you don't have to get ready, or something to that extent. But if someone comes to you with something, you don't want to be like, oh no, I didn't even get to register this businesses yet, or I didn't even do XYZ. But you building all of these stuff, you're learning all of this from the ground up. And once that opportunity presents itself, how big or how small it may be, you have an opportunity to be able to capitalize. Because I know, Dr. Poole, when we were on that pitch session, I believe it might have been your son and his team. They've had success with great sync deals, and they've had success with certain things. And I'm sure in order to even move forward, they had to have had certain things already in place, right? Because they wouldn't have been able to have even gotten a look at that too. So I feel just being able to go through this and learn all of this is definitely you putting yourself in a situation to win as well.
And that's why it's so important that our courses are diverse, because I don't want people to think like Tony's saying, oh, we're just going to all be stars, because there's so much in this music business that people focus on as the performer. And performance is just one aspect. I'm always saying there's 4 P's in this business. There's the performance, which is what we see on stage, but there's the production. Is it a good song? Is it composed well? Is it radio quality? Is it a hit? Is it memorable, right? Promotion. Do you know how to promote the song? Is there marketing for it? All that stuff is taken, usually handled by the label, takes place at the label. And then there's the publishing that Tony's a master at. He says, I'm a publisher, right? And I know how to make revenue off bringing together the team and making money off the deal of the song. So there's so many other ways to make money in this industry, and so many other teams to be a part of than necessarily being the artist themselves. And so we want to make sure our students know that there are several tracks. You can work in publishing, you can work in promotion, you can work in production, you can work in management, you can manage an artist, right? You can do A&R, and those are actual careers, right? And so those are things that are more stable and sometimes have more longevity than just being an artist. And if you happen to be an artist and singer as well, great. But we're teaching our students how to run labels, how to work for a label, how to run a studio, how to work for a studio, and have a career in this industry.
You know what's really interesting, and this is the last thing I'm saying. Very talkative. Even being in this business for over 30 years, selling over 125 million records, there's times when I still have to get on the phone with Dr. Poole and say, "Can you break down how to go on this, that, and the other?" Because
is this split sheet right?
Yeah, I mean, so when I say, it's there's a lot of moving pieces here. And when you don't try to shoot from the hip. If you don't know, there's gotta be people that you can call. IMB, that organization you can call to get that information. So make sure that you share this video, because information is power. It's really power. Information is powerful. Information is more powerful than money, and you'll learn that as you go live life. But I just wanted to share that the importance of have some go-to people to be able to answer those questions that make your business run, because that's very important. Very, very.
Okay,
Appreciate
that
that,
is
Tony.
just
Thank you.
this has been absolutely so rich that I'm just sitting here like I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to be here to help facilitate this program today, this Friendsgiving, and this collaboration between Indigo Inspire and IMB, Institute of Music Business, and to be here and be a part of sharing this. I love before everyone came on, the founders came on. Andrew, you talked about there are like 2 paths. If you want to go in this path, then we have the curriculum for this path, and we have, if you go the other path, and you're going to have your own production studio and so on and so forth, then there's another path. Somewhere along the way, some may think that, going back to what Tony said, don't think, or I think it was, no, it was you, Andrew, who said, we're not here necessarily to make stars. You're here for information, and having the right information. You may think, oh, you know what, I've always wanted to do production, but the next thing you know, after the curriculum, it's like, no, actually, I'm more interested in this, and I have more of a calling towards this. But you won't know unless you get into the program, because you may think, this is my track, I'm going hard for it, I'm selling out, I'm whatever. But once you get to the table and really go through those first 2 months, the theory of it all, that usually is where you're going to separate the oil from the water. Like, how bad do you really want it? and to get the information and to be able to say, you know what, something is pulling me in this direction where I thought this was going to be my life, this is going to be my track. But in actuality, publishing is my track. I'm not going to be the one behind the mic, but I'm going to be the one that's the publisher. I'm going to be the one that's the marketer because I thought I wanted to I wanted to go ahead and be an quote unquote another Uncle Freddie. But no, you know what? My skill set is here, and so I love the fact that it opens up an opportunity to really get a full broad spectrum of what is a possibility within the industry, but also you're getting the business acumen to be able to take your career to the next step.
Can
So
I?
one,
Yes, I'm sorry, Patrice. On that note, I want to ask Michelle or Dr. Carter if she would like to chime in. I know that you're having laryngitis, so if you're not able to speak, let me know. But and you talk about this in your book, how you allowed Vince to kind of be open and explore, whether it was being a drum major or getting in basketball camps. And now that he's retired, he's able to be a sportscaster because he took courses in communication, and how you need to be able to explore and learn these other tracks within your given field, whether it's basketball or sports or music or whatever. Can you talk about
Sure.
how that was?
Sure. And again, I apologize for my laryngitis. And before I comment to what you just said, I just want to thank Ella and Tina if they're still listening, because I was truly blessed by what I heard from them this morning. Okay, I'm sitting here listening, and all these parallels between the world of professional sports and music were going through my head. People often comment about how Vince has had the longest career in the history of the NBA. 22 years, he holds that record. Well, that wasn't by chance. As the CEO of Visions in Flight Incorporated, his company, and I speak to this in my book, I fired 4 agents. Of course, initially, I started with being African Americans. I did my research, and there again, we didn't have all of the technology in 1998 that we have now. But I used books, I did my research, and tried to find the best African American agent out there. And I did. It didn't work. 3 more agents later, here we are, the current agent we've been with for 22 years now. And I say we've been with and still with because even though he's retired, he's broadcasting, he's making appearances where he goes and shows up for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and makes $100,000 because he is Vince Carter. So you have to lay your plan. Surround yourself with people that are going to help you forward your plan and help you with the longevity in whatever genre you're in. Um, Anybody who you're talking about losing money, bad deal with the Phoenix Suns by 1 week that caused him to lose, and I'm not going to go into all of that, but it called his bird rights, where he was making $18 million a year and dropped down to $9.5 million a year, simply because the education that we didn't have in our camp to know that those 7 days were critical. So the education, and that's why I have invested in IMB for these young people to learn the business side of the music business. You may think coming out the gate, you're talented and I want to sing and I want to do this. But once you learn the business, you may find that the singing part or the performance part is not the lane you should be in. But how would you know that if you don't have the education? And then
right.
you make decisions moving forward that will keep you in the business for a long period of time. Um, I often wonder why, well, as I said before, those gatekeepers sometimes are the parents of young people, and they have already had in their mind, you're going to be an orthopedic surgeon, but they want to go in a different direction. The parents don't have the education. They don't know. They haven't explored. They just have made up in their mind. you're going to be orthopedic surgeon. This kid wants to go into the music industry. So sometimes these kids now they're taking gap years when they graduate from high school. A student who's interested in music could take a gap year, learn about the music business, IMB, and then if it's not the fit, and they say, "Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know this. This might not be for me." Then after that year, go and enroll in the medical school and become the orthopedic surgeon. So there's so many options available today for people that were not there, and somebody had to be willing to put in the work. My background is business, but these young people out here who are exploring and trying to figure out where they should land, and I can't stand pigeonholing people. Let them explore, but to explore where they should land, they have to know what's available out there. So the marketing of IMB is important to get the word out, to get the information out, because I've seen so many students over my many years of teaching that they're just going, they're floundering. And some of them are being pushed in directions where they don't really want to go. And eventually they do fail because they come back and I see them and we talk, they do fail. And I've always known that the direction they were going was not the direction they should have been going, but that's not my place to say. But I know that their parents or other loved ones is pushing them in a certain area.
Thank you for sharing that.
That was so valuable. I'm sitting here really this conversation with you, Michelle, is one that I know your book is going to be in the book, and um, but wow, how many parents need to have this information?
Yes.
It's so critical. It is so critical.
And always fact check. There's so much information, like someone said, there's a wealth of information out there, but it's not all true. It's just simply not all true.
Mhm.
Fact check, fact check, fact check.
Can I ask a question based off of that, if you don't mind? I'll give you a second, Fred. Sometimes people don't even know where to go to fact check, which is why an IMB is so important.
Yes, yes.
It really is, because if you know, I'm not sure, and Professor Google is not the most accurate, depending who's
No.
inputting the information, and YouTube University is not always accurate. Um, but that doesn't mean to come off. No, we're accurate here. Don't you leave this line. So, um, but having an institute like this is so it is a very relevant piece of asset to have. It is very relevant piece of asset to have when you're trying to navigate these waters. So, so that fact checking, we are letting you know here that you can, if you're not sure how to fact check, please connect with the Institute of Music Business. That's www.imbusiness.org. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. And that is also the same link that you will use to donate as well to find out about the curriculum. I had to make sure I input that information here because people will come in and not know why we're here and what is Friendsgiving all about. And so with Friendsgiving, we're asking you, please, if you would come alongside Dr. Angela Moss Poole and her team to help support what is going on there in Tallahassee within the music. It is not just regional, just in an area. This information is being going to disseminate through the world. It's disseminating even right now to in the U.S. And those who watch this live, because I don't take it down, I will not take it down unless she says so. This information is going to go to the
Oh, this is
world
great.
to make you better musicians, better thought leaders in the music industry. This will be an opportunity for people to hear from Fred, hear from Tony, hear from Michelle, hear from Sherwin, from Dr. Poole, from myself, to be a part and be knowledgeable in where you're moving ahead in your career. So please make sure you follow everyone here on their social media. I'll put that in the description of the comment of the video once we have ended the live, so you'll know how to connect with them in their social media, but more in particular, how to connect with Institute of Music Business and Dr. Angela Moss Poole and her team to get connected and stay connected. All right, Dr. Poole, any closing thoughts before we move on?
I think Fred was about to say something.
No,
Oh,
Oh,
oh, you wasn't. Oh,
no.
okay. Okay.
so
All right.
I
quick
just
question for Angela. Angela, just quick thing for you. Maybe that was probably mentioned before I hopped on, but can you share some of the student feedbacks that you've been getting since starting? I know you just kind of ran through some of the the initial cohort classes and so forth. What has been some of that first impression feedback that you've gotten just real time from from those classes?
I have to tell you, and I think I'm going to put together a compilation video and put it out there. Students are saying, first of all, the information is much more in terms of the value of the information versus, the courses. They're like, wow, I'm getting so much more than I thought I would out of this course in terms of the value of the information. They're learning that it's current information, it's real time information, it makes sense. We're using case studies. We have people who are in the industry who are still making music, teaching the course. So it's not someone from 30 years ago telling you about vinyls and, 8 tracks, teaching you about how it used to be back in my day. They're saying this is how it is today. This is how it is last week when I was out on a gig. This is something that happened, right? So it's very current information. They appreciate that. They appreciated the pitch opportunity that you and Dr. Carter and were a part of, as well as some other people, how lovingly tough the questions were. They appreciated that you took the time to really listen to their presentations and ask real questions and not give softball questions. They felt like many of them said, because when we do our course, we have a platform that we use called Kajabi, where each week we upload the presentations and notes, and I give them articles and resources. They said they're going to go back and reread all their notes and rewatch the videos from the classes and go back and read those articles again because they want to just dig in even more. We give examples of things, we give business plan examples and templates. And so we're just really making sure they are loaded with everything they need to be successful, and they appreciate it, they feel it, and they are saying, oh, I had my label, but I've learned from this course I need to do A, B, and C. I'm missing these components as a result of this course. I can see some missing pieces, and so we appreciate that it's adding value. They appreciate it, they feel it's worth more than what the price is, and they appreciate it, they feel more prepared.
And I think that's key to just you mentioned from the learning aspect, right? And the last thing I'll mention in that, because I've clearly, we've crossed paths many a times before, but I've also noticed that a lot of times, even like with the recent Stellar Awards, we sat, we had lunch, but you guys had an agenda, like, hey, there's a meeting we're going to have here with Spotify. There's this one that's going to have here with Amazon. There's this one. So like the whole week, you were strategic about going about obtaining information, gaining and building connections and contacts. And it's just being thoughtful, like you said, continuously learning, developing the program, and just doing what's necessary. And I feel now more than ever, because as we're seeing some of the traditional forms of income, right? Like anyone that's been following the news recently, we saw with Spotify, right? We saw with that you need 1,000 streams, you need this, you need that. So some of the ways where individuals were easily able to gain, gain an income from certain things is becoming much more difficult.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Even just recently with, BMI being sold, right? What in one of their statements they mentioned, like, hey, we're going to give back 100 million potentially to writers and publishers and so forth based on XYZ. What does that mean? If your stuff wasn't in order, if your stuff wasn't registered, if you weren't in the right position to be able to catch a windfall with certain things. But the landscape is constantly changing, right? So a book that you might have read 5-6 years ago, or when you went to school for something, a whole lot have happened since then. So I feel like it's so pertinent just to even, again, come back to saying that you guys are literally on the ground. You have industry
Mhm.
experts that are doing it. You have individuals that is familiar with all aspects of this, so you can, be able to bring that value and bring that input. So for me, just again, from what I've seen, it's definitely something that seems very valuable from that standpoint.
Thank you. And I will say there was one negative criticism. I guess you could say it's negative, but it's really not. The students said, we wish we had more time because they were online courses that were meeting once per week. And they said, we wanted to meet twice a week. We wanted to have more than 6 weeks on a course. And that's how we knew they were ready to start the certificate program where they're meeting twice a week, where they're going to have group assignments. They wanted homework and they wanted more time to be able to dig in even more. So I said, okay, we'll go from 6 weeks to 6 months. They're ready now.
That's great.
So that's something that we listened and said, okay, let's go ahead and expand.
That's good.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We have another person we can bring in the room. If Corbin is here, I can bring him in if that's good. I'll bring Corbin in the background. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. And we can say a quick hello.
Hey everybody, how
Hello.
y'all doing?
Hey, everybody. Hey, I'm saying everybody like you. Hey, Corbin. Thank you for coming. So Corbin is all things publishing, all things registrations, copyrights. He's our back end for our music label for 141st Lane. Corbin's company, Ida Maxwell, handles those registrations and all that pro stuff and split sheets and all that. He also has a company, House of Maxwell Entertainment, Home Inc., which is a not for profit organization that does artist development for creatives and shows them how to navigate on the artist side. And so Corbin's company is a partner with IMB. And I'm so glad that you joined us today, Corbin. Thanks for spending Friendsgiving with us.
Yes, I'm glad to be invited. I really like the Institute of Music Business. I think it's something great, and I think it's something needed, especially with where you put it, being in Tallahassee. I think there's such a wealth of creative talent that can sometimes be misguided and desperately needs some sort of mentorship. So I think IMB is standing up kind of as that beacon that creatives can look to and get some positive and correct information that's not going to lead them astray, or that's not going to put them in a situation of being taken advantage of, which is primarily one of the reasons that I founded Home, is because I wanted to equip creatives with necessary tools to be able to thrive. So yeah, I really like the mission. I really like what you guys are doing, and I love the momentum.
And thank you for all that you did to help us to get our photo shoot last March. So Corbin, it was in the beginning. We needed some content, so Corbin helped us to pull together a photo shoot. He worked with Derek Huggins to get some video production work, and I really appreciate you doing that because listen, we have been repurposing that content over and over and over. So it's time for another photo shoot. I say all that to say it's time for another one.
Right. And one of the things that I love about that, I think that creates opportunities for creatives. So, when I do these opportunities, so House of Maxwell Entertainment, and I'm a project manager. So business, kind of similar to what Miss Carter was just saying. I'm really about the business. And one of the things in how we equip the creatives is I teach them project management. I feel like if we have some social and economical growth, we see a better response from creative when they don't have to rely on flipping fries, but they can maybe rely on the industry that's paying $50 an hour, right? So even in that instance of doing the creating commercial material for IMB, there were some creatives locally here that's that were able to be leveraged in that, and I love the opportunity of giving them being able to equip them and put them in situations where they can now utilize those skills, those project management skills that we've been teaching them all along the way, and apply it to their creative endeavors. So we absolutely appreciate the opportunities, and we like say another one that would be good. Then more chances for the creatives to put it in action, right? To see what it takes to have to gather requirements from your stakeholders, to be able to engage different people, to understand how critical the timeline is, right? What's the critical path that's going to make this work? What's gonna, how do we mitigate some risk? How do we, pivot when we need to? It's really exciting.
Yes, I love it. And I look forward to our students being able to intern with your company as well to learn. how to do those registrations and working on projects. I know that you help put together music videos for artists, and being able to work with your artists and helping them to get that label administration. We look forward to our students working with you to learn that.
Yes. Yes, looking forward to doing it. Listen, I'm a teacher at heart, so I get excited when somebody's ready to learn. I get excited when I get around a sponge. So keep them
Awesome.
coming. And it sounds like you got a good what's the word I'm looking for? Um class. Let's just say class. We'll keep it keep it simple.
Yes,
Like you got a good class and alumni. I guess you already have alumni from
we
I.
do. We officially have alumni, IMB
Yeah,
alumni, and
yeah.
cohorts. We've had 3
Cohort.
cohorts.
That's the word I was looking for. There we go.
Yes, yes,
Um, so yeah, this is really exciting. More and more years to come. I know it's going to grow. I know it's going to expand.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's important to have a good beacon of information. And as you see, that tends to be a trend. And what I don't want is bad information just because somebody wants to become like an influencer now.
hmm
And they give bad information just because they get the clicks and they got the likes and screams. And I can tell you a lot that I've seen on Instagram or Facebook ain't necessarily true when it comes to the contract, right? You can't compare a Mariah Carey contract to an independent artist that don't got none of those connections. I mean, it's a completely different story. So it's important
exactly.
to put things in context. And it's important that people that, just like with IMB, you put people with don't just take my word from it, but know where to go get it.
Exactly.
Know where to get the source of truth.
Exactly.
Corbin, you just triggered a thought for me when you said that, because it's like, okay, so would you go to a physician that said he only got his education by going through Google?
Right.
I think most
You
people
know,
would turn around.
yeah, most people would turn around. And so, in the sense of even going into the business realm, why take a chance on taking a chance that's not going to lead anywhere? There's a whole model of, like you said, this influencer mode, but influencers without information is a dead end. And I'm just going to say it again: influencers without information is a dead end. And so I'm so grateful for IMB, for the Institute of Music Business, and the fact that you have true curated professionals that have been in the trenches. They've seen the wax come back to wax. I mean, how many, the 33s are back, but they're marketed differently. You can't market the
Right.
30 the same way you did when it was first coming out. It's
That's
a whole
right.
it's a whole different way and a different playing field. So information is always changing. New ways of engaging with the new audience is always changing, and being on the cusp of a trend that doesn't go anywhere. But you want something that's long lasting, sustainable, and always. I got to park here. Be teachable. Really be teachable. Put your place into a position of being humble and saying, I didn't know, because you'll open up and saying, and finally realizing, oh, you know what? I didn't know that. And I'm so glad I took this course at yada, yada, because
hmm
now I'm already equipped to know, no, that is not the right information. It's wrong information. And Freddie said this earlier, what he wished he knew then. If he had the information that he has now and take it back 20 years ago, Uncle Freddie, listen, it would be we'd be talking, having a different conversation.
Mhm.
But now we're at a place of, you've learned, you've gotten hard knocks, you've are now able to say, hey, don't repeat my mistakes, but also be on the cusp of how to be able to perform and to move forward in this industry in the way that's going to be successful. We already talked about a couple minutes ago. Success in the music business doesn't always mean you're behind a mic. And some of you,
hmm
okay, I gotta be quick. Rewind. I'm not gonna say that. Some people are better behind, not behind a mic. Some people are better in the production studio because they just have that ear and they know exactly what is happening. You have people that they know how to be that entertainment attorney. Oh, if you're looking to go into entertainment law, take the courses here. Let that be a part of your curriculum as well. Get the certificate, have the information, take that paper with you. So I think that is going to be just amazing, amazing, amazing. Uncle Freddie, I see that you're going to have to dip out in a little bit, but
Hmm.
I want to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you for being on Indigo Inspire Live Friendsgiving with IMB. Thank you for your contribution to the next generation.
Absolutely. So happy to be able to contribute and be a part of this. You know, um, the next generation needs to do better than our generation, without a question.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Amen.
Well, enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend,
You
and
too.
maybe somehow, some way, you can slide me a little bit of. I don't
I
know
mean,
if
I
I'll
mean,
get
I
it.
mean, make that too. I need to hit it up because that's
I
all
don't
I'm
need
gonna
to.
say.
You don't
That's
even have
all
to
I'm gonna
let
say.
me in the door. Just leave it on the driveway, the end of the driveway. We'll just come by and pick it up.
I'll do
You know.
curbside pickup, but have a good one.
We're shipping
I
this.
don't know, Fred. You're gonna have to get a commercial
All right.
kitchen soon. I don't know.
Hell yeah. That's my wife is saying. She's like, you better find one real fast and get out of her kitchen. So
Right.
Well,
All
God
right.
bless you. Happy Thanksgiving,
Thank
sir.
you.
And
Thank
enjoy the
you.
rest of
Thank
your
you.
family.
Thanks
God
again
bless.
for coming by. Happy
Absolutely.
Friendsgiving.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
Friendsgiving.
And everybody, please donate. Please donate.
Yes.
Support.
Yes,
Oh,
thank you. Thank
yes,
you.
Amen.
please do.
And you
Absolutely.
can text to give. You can text the word IMB friend to
Yes, we're going to put that in the comments.
53555.
We sure are. We're going to make sure they
And
know
thank you. I
exactly.
see some people are donating. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being that seed in the ground for the next generation as well. I know I'm going to put something out here also. If you are someone that would like to even sponsor a student,
Absolutely.
and you're saying, no, that's not my area, but I would love to be able to supply a scholarship for one student.
Hmm.
Um, we would even just, that would be such a blessing to a young person that may not have, the opportunity to be able to get these courses. But, if we could just have an established scholarship program, that would
Sure.
be so great. So I'm going to be the first one. I am going to
Oh,
sponsor
thank you, Patrice.
one student. Indigo Inspire is going to sponsor and provide a scholarship for one student to take the class at IMB. I believe in what you're doing. This is the reason why Indigo Inspire is the name that it is, and our motto is inspiring the next generation to greatness.
I
And
love
so
it.
we are going to sponsor one student of your choosing to be able to take the courses at IMB starting in
Oh, thank
January.
you very much. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. The official Indigo Inspired Scholarship. I love it. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we've got so much to cover. And
Did
let's
we get
see.
everybody who's in the waiting room? Is everybody in? I think
Oh, well, okay. Do we have someone else that's coming in here? Here we go. We're going to add him
oh,
to the
oh,
to the
oh,
to the
oh,
party.
oh,
Derek
oh.
Huggins is
Hey,
in the
Derek Huggins.
building. Hi,
Happy
Derek.
Thanksgiving,
How are
belated
you?
Happy
Friendsgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving. Happy
Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving.
Same to you guys. How you guys doing today?
Good,
We're
good.
well. We're well.
Yeah,
Thanks
Thank you
for
so much,
popping in.
Derek, for being here. Thank you so much for
absolutely.
being here. I'm going to ask the question that I asked to the other panel that was here, or the founders actually. Your thoughts about being a part and associated with and connected with Angela, Dr. Poole, for the Institute of Music Business, and how important this curriculum is in our ever changing and ever evolving music industry.
Well, I mean, what can I say about the illustrious Dr. Angela Moss Poole? Just a phenomenal
I
artist,
love you.
businesswoman, supporter, gospel music enthusiast, the whole nine. So, incredible people. Just glad to be connected, and I've shared a few times virtually with the Institute for Music Business, and it was just an amazing time every time, and made some great connections from that. And as far as the importance of the curriculum, I think it's really important because one of the things that I deal with are independent artists who do act as their own label. And a lot of times they don't come equipped with the resources or the information that it takes in order to successfully see their careers through and forward. And so I think the curriculum that Dr. Poole is putting forward over at IMB is so critically important, especially now that you have a lot more independent artists navigating the music industry space kind of on their own, if you will, especially in the absence of labels offering artist development services and things like that. So it's like with the IMB, you kind of get a hodgepodge of all of that. You get the artist development, you get business development, resources, on the job training and learning. So it's amazing. And I'm just glad to be a part. And I salute you, Angela. You know that I'm a great supporter of yours and what you're doing.
Thank you, Derek. And I appreciate you coming on site to Tallahassee to work with Corbin for that photo shoot. So all of the
What's
content
up,
that you are
Corbin?
seeing, all the content that you are seeing is from a March video whole production that we did. And Derek came down and produced that, worked with our editors, worked with our lighting team, worked with Corbin and talent. And we were able to take that footage and get so much content out of that. And I appreciate that, Derek, because our students are learning how to edit and how to make content from that experience. And we'll need to do it again. So we'll look at some more dates in 2024 springtime.
Yes,
But I
that's
just
exciting.
appreciate you coming down to do that in person.
No, thank you for trusting me with that project and for just believing in my ability to do it. And it was so much fun, and I really enjoyed meeting those students. And hopefully, to your point, that continues to foster their creative minds to go on and do greater things with it. So I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yes. And I'm thankful for you coming into the course and being a guest speaker twice. You spoke in the Women's Music Business Essentials course on music marketing with a panel. And then you spoke in the Starting Your Independent Label. We had a whole session where you gave a master class on music marketing. And before you came in, Patrice asked for feedback about the students and what they felt about the course. I'd like to get your feedback. You and Sherwin have had a chance to meet our students. What is your feedback after working with and meeting our students?
Well, for me personally, I've since gained a couple of mentees from that
Mhm.
Okay,
experience. They've
great.
reached out to me directly to mentor them, and so we've started the ball rolling there. And I've already kind of given them some assignments to do. One of the things that I asked them to do, and I've actually kind of broadened this out to all of my mentees, not just that the ones that I've connected with from your program. And then one of the things that I told them to do is to write a 30-day love letter to themselves as artists and creatives. And the goal of the letter is to, first of all, help them see all of the achievements and creative ability and skills that they have on the inside of themselves, right? And I've charged them to not only write that letter, but to read that letter to themselves every single day for 30 days. And then at the end of the 30 days, they're to come and tell me how that experience has not only what they've learned about themselves from that experience, but also how it's motivated them to move the needle forward with where they're going. And so I'm excited to wait. I'm excited to hear, I should say, what happens after that 30-day period is up. But it's working with those students, period. It's just been a great experience for them, and just to see how eager they are.
Oh, he's a little frozen. Let's see. All right, we're going to move it to Sherwin. We'll come back to Derek.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think part of it for me again with the initial interaction I had
Stevie?
with this. Oh, go ahead. Take it back.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't know something crazy happened over here, so I didn't know if I was still talking or y'all could see me.
Okay, now you can finish. Now, yeah, you kind of froze for a second. That's why we switched to Sherwin. But go ahead, finish your point.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying I'm excited to see students that are eager to learn, because a lot of times when I come across independent artists, when they don't have an intellectual curiosity about the industry that they say they want to be a part of, I frown on that. So I love to see from Dr. Poole's student at IMB how they were excited to actually learn about the business side of the industry. And that's all I was going to say.
Awesome.
Good.
Sherwin from Gospel Music Buzz.
Yeah, I think part of it when I had my initial interaction with the students is, so there was a few things out the back. Because again, when they did the pitch assignment, clearly you could have told, there were students there of variations of just walk of life within their career path, within their knowledge. I mean, they had someone in one of the groups that was a Grammy winner. They had someone else that was, now starting with what they were doing. They had some that was probably just released their first single. So I think that was impressive, just that there wasn't a cap to say, hey, this is just a beginner's course only, or this is just a, one size fit all type situation. But it's individual, like Derek mentioned, they had that professional curiosity there. Yes, they might have won a Grammy, they might have done XYZ before, they might have had placements and deals, but they still realized, and they were honest enough with themselves to say, hey, I don't know everything. And there's certain things that I can still learn that can kind of help once I launch that label, that can kind of help for me to be able to do a whole lot more with certain things that I was missing along that way. So that to me was just encouraging, just to see like, oh wow, this is, this is impressive from that standpoint alone. And then even with being able to, just to be teachable, right? Because in one of the pitch sessions, I remember I was having a conversation with someone, and I was just, talking about what what it is that they were, the way in which they were pitching the idea. And I mentioned in terms of, taking it from a different angle and so forth, just kind of just again sharing my thoughts or how I would perceive it. And the individual, received it well. And even like, within that moment was talking about, this is what happened personally, and this is what kind of crafted the song and all of that. And that was a moment right there of just almost instant, hey, I heard what you're saying, I got it, this is what I think the tweak can be. So that right there, again, having a conversation with someone, because again, same with Derek, we have, individuals that would hit us up all the time, like, hey, what do you think of this, what do you think of that? And when you make certain suggestions, not to say I have all the answers, but when you make certain suggestions, you're seeing them not implementing those suggestions, but they're still coming back again and again for answers. But I think being able to see that and understand the level of professionalism that's there, and the level of, hey, I want to learn this, not just that I'm just showing up just to do something. I thought that, hey, Angela definitely has a solid group here. So that was my initial impression.
Thank you. And Patrice, I hope that when people go back and replay this on your YouTube or Facebook or wherever this is going to be
YouTube,
saved,
exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm.
you've got over 2 hours of what I see as a master class, right? And this is what the classes are like. I mean, this is the caliber of the people that are coming in talking to our students about marketing, about business planning, about publishing, who are doing songwriting clinics. It will eventually have be saving the date, June 1st. We're planning our first conference. And these are the types of people that we'll be hearing from. And so imagine the courses are not just textbook, but you're going to be reading articles. You're going to be hearing from, faculty. You're going to be hearing from some of the people that you heard today. And you're going through master classes of current information.
That is absolutely correct. What I want to do right now, Angela, is really, I want to play the video that kind of gives the IMB overview that you did, because this is a great way to put this. This is the perfect spot for that right now, and this is going to help hopefully put that some more meat on the bones of what people have been gleaning for the past couple of hours. Hold, here we are.
I'm excited to introduce a fresh approach to music business education. The Institute for Music Business offers a comprehensive certificate program that teaches students everything they need to know to run their own independent music label. Students will learn songwriting, composition, all the recording processes of tracking and editing and mixing digital music, along with music label operations for music marketing, music promotion, and music publishing. Our program centers on curating a fun and relaxed learning environment without compromising our intensive standards of learning the fundamentals of the music business. We are not just teaching creatives about the show, but we focus on the business. The Institute for Music Business uses a hybrid learning approach which provides in-person, online delivery, practical application, live clinics, featuring today's most well-known and innovative engineers, producers, music industry professionals, and moguls. In addition, We offer apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship programs, high school programming, summer youth programs, and music industry business coaching. So you may be wondering, what makes the Institute for Music Business different? Simply put, our students will walk away with the confidence, current knowledge, tools, and hands-on experience to start their own independent label to make their music make money.
All right, come on, production. Come on, production.
Did you see that
Awesome.
cameo from the Derek Huggins?
Oh
I
man,
peeped that. I peeped that.
awesome to see that.
Well,
I
this
remember.
has been. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Derek.
Oh no! I was just gonna say I remember it was early that morning,
Mhm.
but we had a good time, and it was just a great experience overall. And I'm really just excited to see this, and looking forward to the full scale launch of IMB in person. I can't wait to get back down there and see all of the fruits of this journey here. So I'm excited. That's all I want to say.
Well, I have to say, first of all, I want to just thank everyone for being here. My special heartfelt thanks to Dr. Angela Moss Poole. I'm giving all of her accolades. She earned every piece of that, and allowing Indigo Inspire to be the platform in which to share this incredible information. It has truly been my honor to partner with you and now to be able to sow a seed in the
Yes.
ground.
Thank you.
That will, I may not live to see it, but the fruit will just continue to, and be perpetual. And so I'm excited about that.
Well,
Thank you
we're
to
excited
everybody.
too, Patrice. I'm sorry to cut you off. With that scholarship, you will now be added to our Friends of the Institute plaque on our wall.
That
Mhm.
was not necessary. That was not necessary, but it's appreciated, but it's not necessary. I believe in what you're doing, and um, I think Ella was that tipping point for me. You know, that
Mhm.
that's that's the next generation you want to sow into. So thank you so much for that. All right, so let everybody know how to follow you on all of your social media.
Yes, my IMB is everything is at Institute for Music Business. The website is imbusiness.org. But all of the socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, is Institute for FOR Music Business. And I think you put our donate links. Our Cash App is Institute for Music Business. I think it's Institute number 4 Music Biz, because it was too long. But just use the links that we have there. And my music links, if you want to catch me, is Angela Moss Poole with an E at Angela Moss Poole. All my socials, website, everything's all the same at Angela Moss Poole. And just so happy. Thank you again, Patrice. And thank you to everyone for spending time with us today, for you all spending your Friendsgiving with us. I'm sure you have other things going on in your home the day after Thanksgiving. So I really appreciate you taking time away to sit with us and help us to raise friends and raise funds.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I want to thank you, Derek, for being here. Thank you, Corbin, for being here. And Sherwin, once again, thank you, my brother, for being here as well today. Angela, I want to leave actually a couple of comments for you, an opportunity for you to kind of share your closing thought and also introduce your team as well.
Oh,
That's
sure,
in the
sure.
background that have been holding it down. That would be
You see
amazing.
them
That would
walking
be
around, so they're setting up. We actually had a caterer bring our delicious Friendsgiving food, so they're back there making take home containers. But but I've had actually some people come through to share with us. Jarvis Whitted, whose song came out today, he had a new Christmas song came out today. So we have artists that come through here, recording artists, musicians, music directors that come through here, and they produce their projects. They do listening parties in here because they love the murals. Jarvis was one of our first donors. He donated recording equipment and MIDI controllers to us when we first started. He's here helping out. His wife Chantiel is part of Womb. And so you probably hear the foil rattling in the background. They're taking to-go containers as we speak. But I think my husband, Corey, as you all know, is the biggest part of the team, along with my son, Michael, who goes by Bachi. And then Mikhail Barrington, she's our music theory instructor. You saw her earlier. She had to leave. We have some other faculty who have been chatting and following along. So we're excited to have them. I think we do have a closing student in a performance I'd like to end with. They've been kind of waiting, and I'd like to let you hear Ina's song as well. But yeah, that's the team. And also we're hiring, right? I put a post out there. We're looking for faculty who know music theory because we're expanding to evening and weekend programs. And in the fall, our plan is to expand to a day program with a private high school. So we're pulling together a pool of qualified faculty that can teach Pro Tools, music production, songwriting, music publishing, and we're growing. So come get a hard hat, join with us, and let's build something.
Oh, that's amazing. And you know who's been in queue, because we've had so many here, is the Chapman family.
Woo-hoo! They've been so patient.
Yes, let me bring them on. Oh, absolutely. Let's bring them on. Okay, we're going to need to, are we ready for the Chapmans to come on in to the room? Chapman family.
Now, this is another example, Patrice. We talked about Tina and Ella and how inspiring they are. This family is no different. The Chapman family is a whole band. The mother, once we can see them, Yuri Chapman, is a member of WOMB. She's also a student. She's taken 2 courses with us. And she manages her family's band. Her husband plays in the band, and she has 2 sons. I think their ages 11 and 12 or 10 and 12, who play the drums, keyboards, guitar, is a music director of a church. One of them manages a whole church. One of them has a business doing drums and setting up mics, and it's just amazing. I love to see what these young people can do as young as 12 years old.
Oh, wow. They were here, and I think they they were disconnected because of giving an opportunity to turn their camera around because they were sideways, and now they just left the room. So the Chapmans, if you are still listening to this, you can please come back into the studio. We'd love for you to see you. Yeah.
While they're doing that, can I play Ina's video? Can I share my screen?
You sure can. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
Now that I figured out how to do this. Ina is another student and has taken 2 courses. And she was in a course with Karen Rogers. She's been chatting along the time, saying that she remembers Karen being an awesome faculty. And Ina is also a member of WOMB.
Awesome. Okay. Were you able to get it?
It's loading.
Okay. Okay, here we are.
Here we go. Uh-oh, looks like our Wi-Fi might be buffering.
This song is called With Love, the same way that you would sign off a letter, just as a means of expressing my deepest gratitude to my loved ones. Ooh, I've got a lot to say, so I'll try to keep it short. But I wanted to take the time between you and I to thank you for your support, for the love that you shared with me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, I'm so grateful I get to share my art, and this is just the start. 'Cause even on my worst days, I still lift my hands and praise for the abundance of grace that has honestly saved my life. To all my
Oh, she's awesome. She is awesome.
Yes,
She's
yes.
awesome. She's awesome. The Chapmans are back. Let's bring them into the
Awesome.
room. All
I'll
right.
have their
Chapman.
video queued up too whenever it's time.
Here we
Get
go.
There's my Chapman family.
Okay. Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We have an echo, I think, on your side.
Hey, do me a favor. Take off yours. Okay. Is there still an echo?
No, we're good.
We're good.
Oh, no, actually there is.
Okay, I think because we had it on both, we're going to turn it off. We were watching from one screen. All right. Is that better?
Let's see. There we go. No, we're still there. All right, let's give it a try.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. All right. We're going to try it.
Okay, let's see. We still have an echo. But I'm going to introduce your family. I'll put myself on mute.
Okay. Is that better?
That's better.
It's better.
It's an echo still. I'm going to let you introduce your family.
Hold on, let me check something. I'm trying to see.
Okay,
Are you using the mic here?
Okay.
So while we're waiting for them, I'm going to mute their mic. Okay. While we're waiting for them to come and get the audio, you're muted right now, Angela. You're muted.
Okay.
Okay.
So what I'll do is maybe play their performance.
Yes, we'll do that. Okay. All righty.
So this is the Chapman Family Band.
Thank you all for tuning in. We are the Chapman Family Band, and our petition is that God would heal the land. Come on, family. Let's do it.
Father, we need you to heal our land.
Lord, we need you to heal this land. God, we need you to heal our land.
Please, Jesus, heal our land.
Let's go. If you want God to heal the land, we want you to lift this up with us. We see hatred all around, a pandemic in the air, innocent blood being shed everywhere, and it hurts to see our world like this. Frustration speaking loud, anger taking over, looking for peace but feeling pain over and over with time. And Lord, we need your help. So God, we're asking you to heal our land. 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 Listen, now in the midst of all this chaos, we must fall to our knees and ask the Father in heaven to bring unity. He's the only one who can truly reconcile. Gonna need a spirit to win this battle now. Brothers and sisters, listen if you will. Let's petition heaven day and night like for real. Jesus has the power to save us from this evil. Let's try him and believe that he will heal our land. Heal our land. of the hate, tired of oppression, tired of the pain, no more pain. Heal our land. Yeah, yeah. Dear Father, this word is filled with so much pain, and every day I'm praying so I won't go insane. Trusting your word, keeping my mind stayed on thee, cause there's so much bondage and I wanna stay free. We got so much hatred running rapid through this earth. Heard some people say they were afraid to give birth. Fear of what they see might endure in this life. It's a scary thing, but the solution is Christ. If we wanna see better, we must put Jesus first, cause he's the only one that can truly quench our thirst. Thirst for recognition, thirst for love, thirst for fame. Forget about it all, drop to your knees and call his name. Jesus, my savior, my healer, he's my all. Forgive us of our sins, Father God, don't let us fall. We need you, we want you to take control of our plans. And God, we're asking you to please heal our land. Come on. He said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face, he said, he'll heal the land. So guess what, family? We gotta pray. If my people who will call by my name humble themselves, so heal our land, 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 heal this land, heal your land, heal our land. Hallelujah. Heal the land, Lord. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless.
Amen. Amen.
That's the Chapman family.
That's the Chapman family. That's the Chapman family. That is the Chapman family. So, Angela, as we are wrapping up this Friendsgiving, what just share your thoughts about today and what's on your heart right now after this experience today?
I'm just so full, just thankful and grateful to have the support of everyone. Everyone who came in today, everyone who's chatting, everyone who's donating today, who has donated, everyone who's, just sending, support and prayers. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for the experiences that I've had throughout my life that have helped me to connect the dots to be at this place, because I've often wondered, well, what does this have to do with that? And what does that have to do with that? I'm thankful for, even as a child, singing in youth choirs and my mother signing me up to be involved in all these things, even though I was afraid of it and ran from it. I'm thankful that I'm able to run to it now and help others to do that. I'm thankful and am inspired by our students and the staff and faculty. And I just look forward to whatever's next. We're here for it. We're excited. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, IMB, Institute of Music Business. Thank you all so much for being with us these past couple of hours on Friendsgiving. Thank you for supporting the vision that the Lord has given to Angela. And you can see already the fruit of the seeds that are coming from good ground. So please make sure I put that in the comments again. Please go to the website, www.imbusiness.org, to please sign up for classes. Make your donations, come alongside her and her incredible founders and teachers. And for every student, doesn't matter from the youngest to the oldest, you've all been given an opportunity to sow, to grow, to thrive, and to multiply in the earth. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you to your team. And please make sure you follow us here on social media. Indigo Inspire Live on Instagram, as well as our YouTube channel, which you're watching currently, and Indigo Inspire on all of our other social media platforms. We've got some things coming up. We're doing a major launch in Atlanta on December the 2nd. So the brand is going to Atlanta December the 2nd, and we're excited about that. And the doors that the Lord is opening up. So until next time, God bless you all. We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, it's not just a vibe, it's always a whole mood here. God bless you.
Yes. Love it. Happy Friendsgiving. Bye bye.
Happy Friendsgiving.